You start? I start?
So, Luis,
Yes.
have you considered life insurance before? And you're single right now.
Yes.
Have you considered life insurance before?
No, not really. No, I haven't.
You know, I find that, there's usually a few reasons why somebody, hasn't considered. It's usually they didn't look at it before, right? Or there was a cost to it, right?
So the cost of life insurance is based on two things.
Hold on, I'm just trying to think here. Because this is a single, and so you've never considered that. Have you? Yeah. And so for somebody like yourself, right, who's single, you don't have dependents. You don't have kids. You don't have a wife, to pass the money on. And really, the cost of insurance is determined by two major things. And you probably can relate to this, but one is health. Just think about this. We don't get healthier every year, right? You are right now as healthy as you're ever going to be, right? And so one is health. And so as you age, right? Because of this, the cost is going to go up, right? Am I doing the right?
Yes.
One is health. What's the other one?
Age?
Well, you know what? It's both, right? So as we're aging, the insurance changes, but also as the health doesn't get better, right? Those two things.
Right.
And so when you're younger, it's obviously going to be cheaper. And really, I find that there's three reasons why it makes sense for you to actually have that protection. Well, think about this. Number one is the cost is lower at this age right now. Number two is that there's this feature that exists that is called terminal illness coverage. Just think about this. If you had, right now, a doctor came and said you have 6 months to live, right? And you needed $300,000, or even $100,000. Can we be honest? Like, where would you get this right now? Do you have like a bank account that has that extra sitting just in case of that?
No.
And that kind of makes sense for the young age, right? We just don't have that sitting around. Well, for a very small cost, right, because we're young, that would be covered, so that if the doctor says you have 6 months to live, you could get access to that amount to be available, 100, 200, 300, whatever makes sense, right? And so, but the other, and that's the living benefit while you're still alive. So there's something you can get while you're still alive. And the second thing is, do you have anybody that, that you care about, like a family member or somebody?
I do, yes.
That, do you think that they're all fully well off and fully taken care of, that they're financially free?
No, they could use some help. Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't it be nice that, if you could, you probably would. If you had the money right now, you probably would. But wouldn't it be nice that if something happened to you early on and you didn't get a chance to do that, that you could, through this particular solution, pass on $100,000 to $200,000 to pay off their mortgage, to take care of their kids' education. I mean, how would they feel about you?
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like you're taking care of the legacy, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
That's right. Yeah.
And so that's the reason why it would make sense to do that. Great. And so, well, how I do it normally, I'd say, great. So why don't we just do a quote on the amount that you're going to need? I would recommend to have about $300,000, $250,000. It just depends on, I look at their situation, right? Let's do a quote, and then based on that quote, I then say, yeah, so for you it'll be $20 a month or $30 a month, right? Just as little as that.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to use?
I thought it was more. I thought it was a lot more expensive.
Yeah, it's not great. Well, it depends on the age and all that, right? But when somebody's in their 20s or 30s, it's a little different, right? Like Bree just closed $379 policy. What is that? $379. That's $28 a month or something like that. That's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like this family. They just suffered through it. The child died. They didn't even have anything. Nothing. They already raised almost 20 grand, but they had nothing. Wow. They raised through GoFundMe. Okay, so that was the single one.
Okay. And then I do the single one?
Huh?
And then I do the